Hey guys, Jack from Wrist back with another video. In today's video, I want to do a collection video. Obviously, this being a watch YouTube channel, I thought it's only fair that you guys get to see my collection, what I like as a collector, and where I want to go in the future, which I'll discuss more towards the end. I want to quickly plug my Instagram at JackOnWrist. There's more photos of all these watches I'm going to discuss today, so let's get right into it. So the first watch I ever received, other than just random Casios and digital watches growing up, was this. I received this watch about a year ago, and this is a 1981 Omega Deville. Obviously a quartz, as you can tell by the dial. Obviously not the craziest watch ever, but this was my sort of dive into wristwatches, and I was lucky enough to get a watch from a very reputable higher end Swiss brand. Obviously, if I had my pick, it would be a mechanical watch, but this was a watch that was really taken care of and not worn too often, so it being a quartz isn't the biggest deal ever, and obviously it just keeps spectacular time. The engraving on the back is from my grandpa, given to my great grandpa as a gift for his birthday, and just a really awesome watch. It obviously means a lot to me, being my first sort of real watch, and it'll always mean a lot to me for that reason, but also just because it is from a family member that I never got to know, and someone that I obviously will never get a chance to meet. So this is sort of my connection to my past family, and really cool. Obviously, I believe it is 14 karat gold case, 14 karat gold applied markers. It's not the most sophisticated watch ever for an Omega. The logo and the Deville and quartz on the dial are sort of part of the dial. They're not applied, but really just a cool, nice watch. Unique. It actually has a pusher to change the time rather than a crown, which is something you see commonly on very complicated calendar watches as a way to change the calendar functions, but kind of a unique way to change the time. And because it's quartz, it keeps time really well, so you just got to change it for when you have to set it ahead and back an hour. But just a really classic dress watch, something I'm very proud to have in the collection, and something I'm always gonna cherish. The next watch in the collection is this, a Seiko quartz, reference number 7N43, I believe. It's an interesting piece. I received this from my grandpa on the other side, and it's a very interesting dial. It looks more like a black in most lights, including on camera right here, but it is actually a dark blue in real life, in real sort of, good lighting. This actually originally came on a Jubilee. There was no extra links, and it didn't fit me, so I took it off and put it on a leather strap. Obviously more of a date-just homage, but is different enough, because it's quartz and because it has a date, no cyclops, things like that. And so it is still its own sort of unique piece in some ways. This was my everyday watch for a while before I really was able to buy my first real piece, and just a cool watch again for my grandpa, so it means a lot. And this was sort of the watch that made me really want to keep building a collection. I got my first watch, and then I was given this, and I kind of thought this is a really kind of fun thing, so I want to continue it. So another watch I will always appreciate for putting me onto the hobby. The next watch up is this, a Casio A178. I got this watch because I wanted a watch to wear to work, something I didn't really have to worry about too much, and something I can just rely on in terms of timekeeping. It's obviously just your sort of standard Casio stainless steel. I believe the case is actually a sort of plastic colored to sort of look like stainless steel, but the bracelet is stainless steel, although very thin, and has a very sort of cheap clasp. But again, I didn't really buy it to have it be super nice. It's like a $20 watch. I originally bought a Casio A168W. I'll put that on screen. But I bought that as a work watch, and then my brother needed a work watch, so I just gave that to him, and I got this. And I wanted something a little different than your classic Casio A168 or F91W, and so I wanted something a little different, maybe something that looks a little bit more modern, although still within that realm of $20 and Casio and reliable. So again, pretty basic, but just a a watch I'd recommend to anyone if you just want something to bang around and not really worry about. The next watch up is a Hamilton Fontaine Blue automatic. This is again something I was given by my grandpa. I was lucky enough to get a lot of, really cool, interesting watches from my family members, and there's actually another one in this collection, but this is a fun watch. This is something I wear every once in a while. It has a unique case shape, and so that kind of sets it apart from everything else, and so whenever I'm feeling a little bit different and fun, this is something I will usually go to. It's probably the biggest watch from side to side in terms of the case size. It's 38 millimeters, but still very slim on the wrist. They actually make a chronograph version of this, which I think is a very handsome watch. But this is a nice, fun, unique piece. I believe it dates to 1969, and just a fun piece. I think I have a picture of it all scratched up and dirty, which I'll try to put on screen if I can find it. I actually found this originally sort of in a bunch of stuff and was able to use Polywatch and just clean it up myself to try to bring it to this sort of condition right here. But just a nice, really elegant looking Hamilton, and something I really like to wear every once in a while. The next watch on the list is this, a 23 jewel manual wind Bulova tank style watch. This is a very nice piece. This is another thing another piece I was given by my grandpa, and just a really cool classic style watch. It obviously is very slim and sort of your more classic dress watch look, very similar to the Cartier tank, and just a cool watch. I don't really wear it too often just because it is more of a dress style watch, and I don't really have too many occasions that I go to that would really warrant this, but I usually wear it every once in a while just for fun, just to sort of get it some wrist time. But just a fun piece. Again, just another piece I was given by a family member to add to my collection, and I'm really happy with it, and it's something that I probably would have bought myself if I wasn't given it. I really do like this tank design, this tank style. It's very elegant, and just a nice watch. Manual wind, the only manual wind of the collection, although I will say I do really like manual wind. I think there's something really kind of fun about needing to wind your watch every single day, and gives you sort of an excuse to play around with it and move it. So just something I really like. So I'm gonna look to try to get maybe some more manual winds in the future. So the last watch in the collection is this, a Rolex Air King 114200. It's a 34 millimeter modern Rolex. I did a review on this, and I'll leave a link and a little card in the top right corner to that review. I'm very happy with this watch. I've owned it for about maybe 3 weeks now, but I've worn it every single day, and it's just great. It replaced my 1625 Rolex Thunderbird that I wore for a while, and I much prefer the sort of solidity this gives. Also, it's kind of special because I'm very close with my grandpa, and he gave me his sort of dark blue Rolex homage Seiko, and in many ways it reminds me of it because it is dark blue, stainless steel, and rather than being the homage of a Rolex, it is a real Rolex, so it's very special to me. I'm very up and down with watches. I sell a lot that I buy. I've owned way more than just these 6 watches, so I'm going to try to keep this for a long time and really try to appreciate what it means. And again, just a watch I'm over the moon with. Obviously, I'm still sort of in the honeymoon phase with it, very excited about it, but really, really cool watch. So yeah, that's my 6-watch collection. I really do like my collection, but I definitely think there are some areas in which I can expand in the future. I don't have any dive style watches or any chronographs, which are definitely some areas I'd like to get in the future. Some examples of watches I've been looking at a lot recently are the Laurier Neptune. That's a micro brand. That watch specifically is a dive style watch and very vintage inspired, and very high quality in my opinion for the money of around $500. And under 40 millimeters is great for my 6.5-inch wrist, but I think it's still big enough for anyone who's really interested with any size wrist. The next watch I'm interested in at the moment is the Helm Komodo. Again, another dive style watch, another micro brand, and this one's at 40 millimeters. Very different from the vintage style Laurier. This brand is very much over-engineered and very solid. I believe their watches are pretty heavy or on the heavier side, but you know, you just get a lot of bang for the buck at around $300 for that one as well. I also very much like the Casio GA2100. That's a G-Shock, and it is a analog and digital mix, and a very popular watch right now. I believe the retail is $100, but it's going for around double that on the aftermarket. And just another watch I think that is really interesting, and I don't think you can really go wrong with the G-Shock. And if I have the opportunity to get it at retail price, I think I'll scoop it up in the future. So that's it for this video. Please leave it a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you have any comments or questions or any thoughts, please leave them down below. I urge you to check out my Instagram at JackOnWrist. There's additional photos of all the watches I showed here today. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe.